Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be starting out with my foundation, and I'm using the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Foundation in the shade N1-2. Since I'm going to be doing fake freckles today, I wanted to use a light to medium coverage foundation, just because obviously if you are wearing full coverage, your natural freckles are not going to show through, so this just helps make it look a little bit more real. So I'm just buffing that out with my BH Cosmetics Kabuki brush. Now to prime my lids, I'm going to be using the NYX Cosmetics Jumbo Pencil in the shade Milk. So just applying that all over my lid and then blending it out with my finger. To set that primer and to give me a nice silky base, I'm using this matte white shadow by Makeup Forever and just applying that all over my lid and crease area with my Sigma E35. Now I'm going in with this peachy pink shade, also by Makeup Forever, and a Luxie 205, and I'm just going to buff that into my crease and build up that color until I get the pigmentation that I want. Now dipping into my Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette, I'm going to take this shade here called Bon Fresco on the same Luxie 205, and I'm just applying that to the outer third of my lid and also into my crease. I'm putting my brush down on the outer third of my lid just because that's where I want the most color deposited, and then when there's a little bit less, I'm going to buff that into the peachy pink shade that we started out with. Now going back in with that initial transition shade and just going over everything to make all the lines nice and soft. Now for the star of the show, I'm going to be taking this plum shade, also by Makeup Forever, and my Real Techniques base shadow brush, and I'm going to apply this to the outer 2/3 of my lid and also the outer 2/3 of my crease. Again, putting the brush down where I want the most color deposited and then blending it out when there's a little bit less left on my brush. For concealer today, and also to softly highlight my under eyes, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind in the shade Fair, and just applying that underneath my eyes and in the center of my face. I'm going to go ahead now and blend out that concealer with this beauty sponge. This one here is by Pure Cosmetics, and the reason I chose to do this concealer rather than a really full coverage Tarte Shape Tape, for example, is because, again, we're doing faux freckles, so I want light coverage so that they look as real as possible. And now I'm just taking some Makeup Forever HD setting powder and just applying that in any of the areas that I tend to crease. Now moving on to the freckle part of this tutorial, I'm using my NYX Tame and Frame Eyebrow Pomade in the shade Chocolate, and I'm starting out by filling in my natural freckle here with this eyeliner brush, and then I'm basically just dotting freckles all over my face haphazardly because natural freckles vary in different shapes and sizes, and some are dark, some are light, so I'm really just dotting this all over the place and hoping for the best. Once I have my initial layer of freckles down, I like to pat them out with my finger and just kind of blend them into the skin a little bit, and then I'll go in with another layer, and I like to do faux freckles in layers just because, like I said, some are dark, some are light, and it kind of just gives some dimension. So now I'm just patting over that with my foundation brush. I didn't add anything to it, but this just makes it look like the freckles are underneath the skin instead of sitting on top of the makeup. When I do faux freckles, I like to do any bronzer, highlight, or blush on top of them. Again, just to give the illusion that they are underneath the skin and not sitting on top of the makeup. So now I'm just applying some blush to the apples of my cheeks. And moving on to my lower lash line, taking that plum color again and this e.l.f. pencil brush, and I'm applying that pretty heavily underneath my lower lash line, and then I'm going to go ahead and blend that out with the peachy pink shade that we used in our transition, and I'm using the brush that came in the Urban Decay Naked palette to do this as well. And I want this to be pretty smoky and blended out on the bottom lash line. I want it to come down pretty low, so I'm just making sure that I bring it all the way down to my lower eye bag. Now I'm just going in with a coat of mascara on my top and bottom lashes, and I'm using the CoverGirl Total Tease mascara for this. And these lashes that I'm using are the Ardell Chocolate Collection in the shade Black Brown. And this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time.